Something that many movie lovers are aware of by now is Asylum Entertainment, which have just made countless victims out of children everywhere who sent their grandmothers out to Redbox to get the latest, coolest movie. The Ponzi scheme was always simple. Check what big blockbuster's coming out soon, and just kind of shard out something that looks enough like it to confuse people with astigmatism. And while they might have been the go-to meme for bottom feeder cinema for a while, you might be surprised to find that there are producers that are adding a whole other layer of degeneracy beneath them. They're like the third person in the human centipede. Oh, you had that pirate phase when Pirates of the Caribbean came out? Why waste brain cells on Pirates of Treasure Island when you could just watch Pirates of Ghost Island? These movies are actually a great pairing with your illegal Chinese imported vape cartridge cut with vitamin E. And big opportunity in 2008, when after a couple of floundered attempts, Marvel Studios finally got its traction with Iron Man. So, two legendary bottom feeder producers, Ted Chalmers and David Sterling, figured this would be a great opportunity to pay off their Prius. And I actually just kind of love this guy, by the way. I mean, just look at him.
A big platter, and Dave, normally you're supposed to call ahead for these things, and you're making him do it now, and they're all over there making subs because of you, Dave, and you're one the platter right now.
They saw the production starting and they thought to themselves, if only we can get some kind of Iron Man suit together, the hard part would already be over. And the culmination of the efforts of several seasoned special effects artists came to be this. Considering this was in fact made by special effects guys, I have to assume this was made with spare parts laying around the prop room. He's clearly wearing one of those muscle suits actors usually wear underneath their clothes, for example. And no joke, I think somebody actually took their child's Kamen Rider belt. This thing is literally a toy. It is clearly made for a child. I mean, they show several very obvious shots of this belt not connecting in the back around this person's waist. And then they went, here's a script I wrote on my lunch break, bucko. You're directing now. Wait, I only know how to download After Effects presets. Oh, Metal Man! Now, one thing that can be said for these types of movies is they give some much needed work to some very struggling actors. The key word here is struggling. Look no further than our lead Kyle. He emanates an awkwardness that almost makes me want somebody to just bully him already. The feeling of watching him on screen feels a lot like you've been hanging out with close friends, and someone you don't know wants to practice social skills for the first time in their life with you and your friends.
People run from me.
Trying to make us think this 30-year-old is a fresh undergrad by putting a hair swoop on him is probably where it all starts, I'm sure. But this movie starts with two different scenes, okay? Which I think are supposed to be a heartwarming setup for the movie, but both of them really just ended up making my skin crawl. Starting with this interaction.
Running a little late, aren't you? Yeah, I know. Not a very good way to impress your professor now, is it?
No, it's not. I gotta go right now. I gotta go, so...
I can get dressed in 30 seconds to give you a lift if you want.
No, it's not that far. I gotta cover, so...
Hey, don't be embarrassed about the van. There are plenty of people far worse off than we are.
It's not that, Mom.
And why are they so gleeful? Look how antsy he's acting. You should be warning him about substance abuse right now.
Come here.
Mm.
Love you.
I love you too, Mom. Bye.
Hey, what am I, chopped liver?
I love you too, Dad. Bye. I gotta go.
Dad, why are you acting so happy when it's very obvious that your son doesn't even want to touch you? Although I don't know if I would either, at least not while he's wearing this bathrobe. And then he meets Julie the cutie, his little love interest. Watch this and pay attention to your stress levels, okay?
Yeah, well, I gotta meet with Dr. Blake today, so...
Yeah, isn't that on the other side of campus?
Yeah, but I guess I had to do some errands over here today, so...
Everyone's...
Well...
Dude. I mean, he's only speaking for like 10 seconds and I'm already in physical pain.
I don't know when.
Oh, maybe next Wednesday morning.
Watch, next time she shows up, she has campus security walking with her.
Before that. Okay.
Enough!
See, alright.
Great job making the audience want the bad guys to win the second you introduce the main character. Now, everyone knows you can't sell a movie without a little bit of star power, so they recruited Reggie Bannister to play Dr. Clark. If you don't know who Reggie Bannister is, you're missing out on the coolest ice cream man in cinematic history, who made himself a B-side horror icon with the Phantasm movies. And I swear to you, this man has had the same Scully tail since 1979, except here it's obviously outgrown from the last time he tried to dye it with his own urine. He plays a professor who Kyle has an apprenticeship with, and they've been working on the Metal Man suit together. So first, Dr. Clark puts him in a giant freezer to test the suit.
Message screen over here.
Wait.
I'll be communicating with you.
That's a calculator! That is a calculator! Oh my god. Well, right on cue, our movie's villain shows up and they have a nice little exposition party together explaining that the helmet's prototype was stolen from a weapons lab, and Dr. Clark's wanting to make sure it's not used for war.
You're gonna make me and a lot of militaries very happy. In a pig's eye.
Using Great Depression vernacular during a standoff is a power move. Alright, this looks like a fight over a yogurt cup at a nursing home. This movie is borderline mocking him for his age. Wait, was that it? Okay, now I know they're cheesing him because that one little blow literally kills him. He uses his dying breaths to pull Kyle's unconscious body from the freezer. Look at this poor guy. Did the suit just not work? Doesn't it seem a little risky to put a person in 40 below if you weren't sure it would work? And he's acting all remorseful as he's doing it.
I'm sorry, Kyle. I wish I had more time.
So is this him protecting Kyle and the helmet from the bad guys? Okay, but why would you set the room to a fatally cold temperature? Let's hear it, buddy.
I had to move forward with my plan sooner than I'd hoped for. You remember how you're always wondering why I chose you for this project? Dr. Boyd, this isn't character. You have the right character, and I know you'll do the right thing.
I want out of this thing.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
So I'm stuck in this damn thing forever?
I'm afraid so.
What? Okay, let me summarize. This doctor took Kyle on as an apprentice under false pretense so he can groom him into being the person he's going to trick into wearing this shabby suit forever? Because he's a pacifist and basically preyed on someone, he figured you wouldn't use it for evil? You could have used your old saggy body. But no, rip away the life of a young college student who hasn't even had the chance to learn how to talk to women yet. Plus, the suit you glued on him is stolen from dangerous war criminals who are willing to kill to get it back. And even worse, this movie's version of Jarvis is apparently an AI version of Reggie that he set to activate upon his death or something.
Hello, Kyle.
And from the looks of it, Kyle is going to have to stare at that deep fake bald head for the rest of his life. Alright, maybe dying isn't such an unjust fate. Also, you're smart enough to build an AI of yourself, but this is what your interface is? Look at this glitchy looking box. Is that supposed to be there? I feel like a badass in Iron Man's Jarvis. This is like having to Skype with your uncle, except forever. And naturally, the news broadcasts Reggie's death by straight up showing his dead body on live television with blood pouring out of his ears and everything. Now, the next massive chunk of this movie is Metal Man learning new features from AI Reggie for what feels like hours. But one thing this gives us an opportunity to see that I actually really like is fake science.
Science rules.
I can't take this stupid thing off.
Relax.
I swear, if you say that to me again, I'm gonna ram this helmet against the wall until I get you out of my head. I want this damn thing off.
Kyle, listen to me. Your claustrophobia is getting the better of you.
Oh sure, claustrophobia is the only reason he's upset right now.
And then slowly,
What's happening to me?
you have an area of the brain referred to as the worry center. The nanobots have entered that area and have eliminated your phobia of closed spaces.
Your suit can literally fix your thinking with science? Dude, utilize that thing. Give yourself some charisma already, please. But wait, there's more.
I want you to think of the word stealth.
Stealth.
Oh my god. What?
But as we established, Kyle now has bad guys after him. And guess what? They just straight up murdered his parents. What started as an exciting apprenticeship has now turned into a dead family and permanently not being able to itch your balls. But really, it only took me 3 seconds of seeing his face again, and I already wished he just turned that suit back on. Oh, thank God. And Reggie here won't even let him choke one of them for very long. Because, oh yeah, Reggie is a radical pacifist, and now the guy stuck in this suit has a nag telling him not to hurt anyone, even if they needlessly murder your family.
Kyle, stop.
You'll kill him.
And then, as though this movie realizes that this moment was like a little anticlimactic, it just throws a bunch of guys in the front yard to jump him as he just kind of casually walks out the door. And if you didn't get the idea from the last scene, we're gonna get a decent amount of incompetent attempted violence. You know the drill. You have multiple guys, but everyone just, for some reason, stands aside while they try to fight him one-on-one. You know, similar to how these guys had a gun pointed at his head and Metal Man is going to take time to squeeze one of their hands into dust while the other just kind of watches instead of pulling the damn trigger. But whatever, it's time to get some exposition from the villain as he talks to his assistant and then her assistant as well, who really doesn't tread that fine line between spunky and annoying very well.
Yes?
TM.
Excuse me?
I said TM. It's called Transcendental Meditation. I'm just saying you should probably try it sometime.
Are you talking about the type of meditation that teaches you how to float? Fun fact though, she played a character in the Lonely Girl 15 web series, if you remember that. And we get the whole boring story behind her and the bad guy's involvement in the Metal Man helmet over a less than professional dinner with sappy music. And I'm gonna pause for a second because I really am loving this like broke ass budget trying to look opulent and fancy. But you know, if you're trying to be romantic, get some lighting that treats your thinning hair better, man.
And I think a beautiful, intelligent, vibrant woman such as yourself would help Kyle open up.
What exactly are you saying?
I am not implying you sleep with him.
Whoa, when did that show up on the table? Now here's the thing, at this stage, she doesn't know that he's evil, alright? She just thinks she's helping him do science stuff. And if the candlelit dinner where your boss asks you to seduce a college boy isn't a red flag, then I'm questioning if you're really smart enough to do all this science stuff. Back to Metal Man, he goes to a hidden away janitor closet and Reggie explains yet another way he managed to ruin Kyle's life.
You must be kidding.
No, this is your food.
Of all the things to copy from Iron Man, they went with the chlorophyll thing, and that's what he has to eat for the rest of his life, forever.
So I won't be banging on steak or lobster anymore.
Listen to how defeated he is. He has just stopped caring about the continued extinguishing of joys from his life.
How does it taste?
Have you ever accidentally eaten animal excrement? Mixed with sugar?
Sorry, didn't have time to work on the taste. Can you get used to it?
I don't have much of a choice now, do I?
But then Kyle has an interesting idea. Maybe we can stop watching him talk to himself and go fight somebody. And it's here this movie really wants to just double down on one of the worst ideas for a superhero movie ever.
I want to get the guy who killed my family.
That's not the role I had in mind. I didn't design the helmet for destruction, Kyle. I designed it to aid humanity.
A superhero not allowed to get bad guys. Genius. And they managed to find a way to make this idea even worse.
Why did you choose me?
I tested a number of students, Kyle, and you tested extremely high on the moral index. You seem to have an extraordinary sense of right from wrong.
I mean, right after saying how great his judgment was, and with that judgment, Kyle decides that justice for the murder of his parents is the right decision. And Reggie says,
Justice can have different meanings to different people, Kyle.
Exactly. Clearly, the guy you chose obviously has a different idea of what justice is than you do. You're just forcing him to be a pacifist because that's your moral judgment. And cool, Kyle needs to leave to fix the fuse so we get some more fake science.
Put your hands where your temples would be. Now, a holographic image should pop up in your...
Why can't this guy do anything and make it look normal?
Who is this supposed to be?
It's a combination of 6 different people. Too complex to explain the procedure now.
Yeah, you literally just explained it, though. He walks outside and bumps into a guy who probably shouldn't be allowed to leave his house.
Oh, you staring at, boy?
Hey, man, sorry I bumped into you. I really didn't mean to.
I think you did. Hey, why the hell are you staring at my girl, man?
Hey, I don't want any trouble, man. I don't want any trouble.
Oh, I think you do. You do, and you're about to bite off more trouble than you can chew, man.
And here's how our hero handles it. Okay, what? Was that it for the disguise mode? He used it just long enough to walk outside and kick a roid-raging man in the nuts and then run back inside the building he just walked out of. Cut to an incredible budget evil lair. What else would a bad guy have on his wall than a decorative chain? And it's here that Science Girl comes to a moment of clarity that her boss isn't just inappropriate, but also kinda evil.
You're evil. Hear me. You're evil.
Back to Metal Man. This absolute maniac is now searching the streets with a gun and gives us an excuse to show us how the suit handles bullets. But it's also a moment where we learn what I think is maybe one of the most wild things about Metal Man. So Metal Man, superhero that this movie was made around, not only can't fly, but drives a minivan. Not even a special Metal Man mobile, not even a sedan, a soccer mom minivan. I mean, look at this. He even has to make sure there's a box of chlorophyll available at all times. Are we gonna find out that he needs to empty his colostomy bag every hour too? And then for truly no reason, it looks like the goons and Metal Man all conveniently pull up at the same time to Kyle's home when there really isn't a single reason why any of them should be there at all in the first place. Don't you think these guys would have come up with a different approach?
Sebastian's always one step ahead of you.
Oh, you mean he sent the exact same guys to the exact same place to fist fight Metal Man again? The plan that got everyone's asses beat before? Even before, he gave you Home Depot tools as weapons. Seems like a cheap way to make two scenes out of one shoot. And what else would be right across the street as he walks out the door but two men attempting a certain type of assault on a woman at knife point? Where the hell is this college gown? In the same day, Kyle has experienced attempted murder because of bumping into someone, and then walks outside and this is happening on the street of your suburb. I mean, geez, this actually is a city that needs a superhero. It's kind of a shame that this is the superhero they're gonna get. Man, he really likes this hand squeeze move. Just storming around, making criminals left-handed as punishment one at a time for their crimes. And it's here where Kyle finally, at the 1 hour mark, decides he's gonna go get the bad guy. Which apparently is as simple as just opening the unlocked front door. But it won't be easy because he is holding his college crush hostage. I feel kind of bad that the only person our villain can find to hold hostage against him is a girl he barely knows. So there's a tepid standoff and he wants his science girl to modify the suit to fit his needs.
You're gonna put the chips in my helmet.
And the shot that follows is he placed one unarmed man to guard this woman and Metal Man with the suit and everything. This is the most incompetent villain ever. Not only is he constantly trying to subdue Metal Man with unarmed men who can't even fight, but the best thing he could come up with when trying to make his own helmet sucks so bad it blends up the head of the person wearing it. Whoa, what? That's a Jell-O shot syringe. That is a Jell-O shot syringe. It really doesn't help that what she's drawing actually looks like a Jell-O shot. Don't they have fake blood? Oh, and what's the big plan? Get the sleeping guard to come over and just knock him out! Not forgetting to give his hand a little squeeze first, of course.
Just think of it as much needed beauty sleep.
Hold on a minute, sir. Your eye is missing. And then Julie unexpectedly becomes one of my favorite characters by having, like, the only sensible response to something in this movie.
Don't worry, Julie, you're gonna be just fine.
What the hell is going on? What kind of sick game are you playing?
This is not a game, Julie. I'll explain everything once we've escaped.
What's going on? This is some kind of freak show.
Which is kind of hilarious to me because in this moment, even an average quality movie would probably just try to make her act all happy sappy at this moment. When really, it just makes way more sense that she'd be pissed at this random creepy guy getting her sucked into a weapons deal hostage situation. And then more fake science!
All you should have to do is say, full stealth.
Full stealth.
Kyle, where the hell did you go?
Julie, I'm invisible.
And look, the invisibility was even useless. It's literally while he's using invisibility that the bad guys F him up the most.
I'm trying. What's going on?
The nanobots are having trouble ingesting all of the bullets at once. You're not designed to take massive amounts of gunfire, and the energy needed for your invisibility is also sapping your energy.
Okay, takes 3 bullets and the suit's already shutting down. This suit sucks! I mean, it's a good thing the bad guys just completely give up on chasing them, even though they stop literally right on the other side of the gate they just climbed over. Now off they go, wandering through town, probably wishing he had his minivan right about now. But bad guy finds out Science Lady helped Kyle escape, and to protect herself, she tries to cram the gel shot into his neck, which is an odd idea, especially since like what she was trying to actually do is never explained, and basically it doesn't deter him at all. I'm kind of avoiding the idea that she's trying to give him HIV right now. Because, I mean, he just carries on with putting this prototype helmet on her to control her or something. And the helmet looks even more silly without the suit. So Metal Man and Julie find a barn to rest in, and Julie, again, lays out the logic of the people.
Julie!
Sorry, it's too much for me.
Oh my gosh, is she just leaving? She's gone conscious and she's gone. Well, he wakes up and sees one of the only things in this movie worth getting excited about. Bad guy has his own robot that he's going to make Metal Man fight. So, with the climax at hand, we will ask, will this battle be any more interesting than the others? Will he end this guy's incompetent tirade and save the girl? Find out with Metal Man.